This is the second in a series of video tutorials devoted to the keyboard harmony component of the classical piano syllabus. In this tutorial, we'll look just at grade 6. Things get a little bit more complicated as now we use keyboard style, where we're forming 3-note chords in the right hand, single notes in the left hand. The workbook that we're using here is by Deborah Wanless, Keyboard Harmony, Harmonizing Made Fun, Book 2. In grade 6, students have to be able to harmonize and play progressions in the keys of C, G, and F major, as well as A minor, and now we're using chords of 1, 4, and 5 in each of those keys. For the chord progression, we break them up into 1 and 5 and 1 and 4 separately. Here's what the 1-5-1 chord progression looks like. Again, I'm adding the pedal for resonance in all of these examples. Here's the 1-4-1 chord progression. Students have to play the chord progressions exactly as they're found in the workbook and exactly as you've seen here, ascending only. The reason that students learn these different inversions in the right hand is that now starting in grade 6 when we're playing the harmonization examples in keyboard style, they have to voice the melody to the top note of the triad. And by learning these templates, they'll have a vocabulary within their mind's eye, their ear, and their hand to be able to select those chords at will on a moment's notice. Here's an example from our syllabus for F major, using the 1, 4, and 5 chords all combined. Even though they're separated in the chord progressions, when it comes to the harmonization examples, they will all be combined into one example, and on the exam, students will only see chord symbols. They won't see the X's that you sometimes find in the workbook. Again, it's recommended that in the workbook, students fill in the chord symbol at the X's to get an idea of the background work involved. Now at the grade 6 level, the trickiest thing is to put the melody note in the top of the chord. And here's what this means. At the beginning of this example in F major, they're calling for an F chord, so I train students to start with F in the bass, and the right hand has to have F as the top note, forming an F chord underneath the F. And so it would be played like this. The second note can be played on its own. The next chord's a C chord, so I get them to get the bass note in first, and then use that as a guide to form a C chord in the right hand with the E on top, because E is the melody note, adding the C after. Again, I'm adding pedal in between chords. The F chord with the F on top, a passing note by itself. Here at the A, they don't have to play the chord again because they've already got the F chord sounding. B flat, I lead with the left hand in my mind, and then I form a B flat triad underneath the B flat melody note in the right hand. F with A on top. C chord with the E on top, which gives us a nice leading note to tonic in the upper voice at the finish, F chord with F on top. Here's what the whole example looks like up to pace. Once students have this ability, then they can go on to grade 7 and 8 much easier using many different keys and chords, as long as they're able to have those templates in mind to be able to voice the chords to the top note with the melody in the top.